Ladies and gentlemen, the poet who won the 2015 San Gabriel Valley Poetry Festival Broadside Contest. Here he is now. Oh, I gotta say his name?
Yes.
What a grand honor this is. It's such a beautiful chapbook. You know, my first chapbook. I recently won the National Women's Month Acrostic Poetry Contest by Los Angeles Poet Society. They had two competing contests side by side, and because it was blind judging, I won both of them. So to add this to that honor, but I based mine on something someone once said to me that entirely changed my life. And to quote her exactly, "You could never be a writer." I've always tried to disappoint her on it. One time, John Kingfisher led a workshop, and he brought out the poetry of Michelle Serres. And one piece that really grabbed me was Annie Says, and Annie was her grandmother's much less a poet. And I was very moved by that, but we had this drama that nobody else wrote that day. So while the drama continued on, I wrote this piece. And I call it Annie Says. The role of a writer, epigram, the role of a writer is not to say what we can all say, but what we are unable to say. Homie, Homer, hold me. You could never be a writer, let alone a poet. What do you know? I mean, what Iliad, what Odyssey? You with a dunce cap hid in your knapsack, you've got to be able to recite the histories, use poesy and prosody, exquisite soliloquies of the great heroes, expose of oracles, pithy like Pythia on python vapors, concentrating in caverns until the future resolves in stark relief. Troubadours travel, give the news, Delphi, Athens, Troy, every Hellenized place. That's where minstrels go, that's where they live. Your constitution can't travel, can't sing, can't reveal, and you never will. You could never be a writer, nor can you strum a sitar, tease a dulcimer, a lute, grab a guitar like the feminine form with its twisted roots, strung hairs, fine necks, serpentine curves, petite hole, and enormous void. Listeners have it easy, but poets know. Memorizers, reciters, who recount the tragic tales, a dense catalog of endless imperial wars. Poets must find their muse and amuse. The fates are such that the Morai may guide you, but you alone must take the leap. And though all the words excite you, alone a poet must plumb the deep Mediterranean, Asian, rough Adriatic Sea, dire straits to exotic isles. The poet must make them cry and care, yet shrug off tragedy. The poet must stab and stare and cut incisively. The poet must turn memories into song and keep the candle alive so civilization will live on. It's the plight of Achilles and Ares, Artemis and Persephone, and ever-patient Penelope. Tales told by Sophocles and Euripides. What do you know about that? You could never be a writer.